Woods report. Okay, so the Breakfast Club didn't really have a lot today because they probably
Labor
on
Day
break.
weekend.
Yeah, because of Labor Day weekend. So we'll just do whatever hot topics. Now, I know in the past we did talk about that football player that got catfished.
Monty, what's his name?
Um,
Monty Te'o.
Yeah, you said you finally saw the documentary on Netflix.
Is it Manti?
Manti.
Manti Te'o.
Yeah, it was. He was. People was. I guess he had a issue with falling in love with what he thought was a woman online, and he fell in love with her.
And this was around 2000, before 2012 maybe.
Oh, okay. So
but
this was
catfish
like 10 years
wasn't
ago.
talked about.
Okay.
Nobody knew what catfish was.
Okay.
I didn't even know what catfish was.
Or a lot of
until
people wasn't
recently.
getting or maybe they were.
They were
catfish.
getting catfish, but they didn't know what
Right.
that term meant.
And now, drink some water.
Okay.
Now it's like everybody you can see now go on there now and look to see if somebody want to meet you or something.
God,
it's
you don't
too
know if
many
you meet
ways,
the right person.
but it's too many ways to look at people now to where you shouldn't get catfished. Like you can just do video on your phone and see what the person looked like.
This guy that catfished him, he was pretty good. He was good on how he made that person up. They were saying that the name of the documentary is The Girlfriend That Didn't Exist. In actuality, she did exist. It wasn't like he was talking to a nobody.
No, it was a real person.
It was a real person pretending to be somebody else who had a page.
Okay.
And he used her photo, but because he knew her, he knew of her, he was able to he looked at her page and he pulled one photo out that showed her,
So this person took a whole persona of somebody that really
her
existed.
identity.
Okay.
Yes, but another name
made
up.
Okay.
What was so fascinating about the whole thing was
you saw this on Netflix. You saw the full
Netflix.
documentary on. This guy was on Breakfast Club before.
Yeah, he was there was a topic of discussion on.
They was talking about him.
So I said, let me go watch the Netflix documentary to get the whole story because I wanted to see what happened that he got fooled.
Right.
Did he not ask the right questions? Did he? Because his dad even said at one time, "Did you meet her?"
Right.
Son,
have you fall in love with somebody? I think he was engaged, wasn't he?
I don't know if they got that far, but he was in love. He was falling in love, or he was in love, and the other person was falling in love, which he couldn't get away from it. But I was telling my sister, I said, Dr. Phil even spoke to the gentleman that was playing the game. And he said, how were you able...
He was talking to the one that had catfished the person.
Who catfished the person, because they were all figuring out... Because the poor football player, and I'm all over the place, you can stop me if I'm asking me a question to be real specific. The football player that was catfished, it was a woman's voice. He even played the recording back to let people know.
It ended up being a transvestite. Or a transgender.
A transgender. But he did well
with his voice. He could make his voice sound like a female voice.
So Dr. Phil challenged him and said, I want to hear you talk, like how you was talking to him. And he said, I got to be in the role play. I got to be in the moment. I got to be. So he tried to set the stage up like in the dark with the wall covering him where he's private to bring that character out. And he did. And he heard him on the phone. He said, wow, he sounds just like the lady that was talking to the football player. Female voice. He made up that character.
So he's not transgender.
He's transgender. Yeah.
He was a woman on stage.
No. He was still in the closet.
You mean he was just gay? He's not transgender then.
No, he became
Did he have a sex
out of
change
the closet?
And all of that?
No.
Then he's not transgender.
He's not transgender. Okay. So he didn't have the sex change. Is that what that is?
And he don't dress like a woman?
Yeah, he does now.
Oh, he lives life as a woman.
He's come out now since that documentary. It's almost like it pulled him out.
So he's pre-surgery or something. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, he always felt that as a kid.
He was a woman.
You learned about the Polynesian culture. A lot of them play football. He was pressured to playing ball, so he knew about the sport.
Oh, so he was
able to talk to a girlfriend who knows about the sport.
Talk about the football player.
So hey, try on the left side doing this because I saw my uncle do this.
So he had the best of both
character
worlds.
Up. Okay. He added friends to her, cousins, people, brothers.
Did he talk to the other people?
He knew of them. So, like his name, I think was Loney or Laney or whatever that name was. People knew of Laney or whatever that name was.
Oh.
And they knew, like the football player's cousin that's how he got a little comfortable, because he said, "Hey, have you heard of this Laney person?" And this football player said, "Yeah, I've talked to her a few times."
Who are they thinking they were? What it was?
It was a girl that was really.
Oh, he really took on a name.
Took on another,
Okay,
gave her
all right,
another name,
all right,
and build her character up on Facebook. So he's
so
thinking
they
he's
know,
talking to her. But
so
it's
they
not
know
her.
that the people who he's asking and know her from Facebook. They don't know her in real life either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. He
They
built her
persona.
character up.
Okay.
Yeah. And basically he knew her. So they all kind of was in that circle, you know. Hey, so Laney, but they never, nobody ever noticed.
Nobody ever met her.
We're on Facebook so much that
Well, now,
know if
that's what I'm
somebody
saying.
uses my face.
Now you would,
Yeah, this was back then.
Yeah.
So this was how many years ago? So they've gotten better now, and you can do better with finding information on that person. But she must not be on. She was on Facebook, but not a lot to even knew she was being used.
Wow.
Her photo was being used as another name. But he really fell for her, and they had conversations all the time. She even got a little jealous. The person that was catfishing him got jealous because he was involved in college ball at the Notre Dame, and really big player, getting ready to be drafted. That's how good he was. They were ready to what do you call them when they do that draft? The first draft. He was like first draft pick. I think defense or offense he played, where he was really good with tackling. And I just learned a lot about the Polynesian culture. The person that catfished him played ball, pressured. I don't like football, he said. His uncle played pro. His dad's other brother. He had actual professional football players in his family. Yes. So that was nothing new to them in their culture.
Wow.
And this guy, the football player, of course, is going pro. So he's good in football, and others that in his culture. She was from that culture. So that's why the family never questioned.
How did he end up finding out that wasn't the right
Oh
real
God,
thing?
here's the thing that messed up the guy that catfished him. The football player's grandmother passed away. And the guy who catfished him pretended to be in a car accident, on life support kind of thing, almost really dying, sick, even acting, breathing like they're in a mask at the hospital. I mean, to that fullness, where the football player was really like, "You need me to be there? He was talking to him every day, and then the cousin, the so-called really cousin, I think it was, got on the phone and said, when she hears your voice, she gets come alive a little bit. So he was happy to talk to her every day. So he was building that character up to pulling on this guy's heart, and the emotions. Well, finally they got word that she died.
Why did he kill himself off?
What do you mean?
The one that was
getting too close. It was getting. He had to see her. Yeah, you hurt in the hospital. Dude will pick up.
So he was trying to kill himself off.
I got to kill myself off because it's getting too close.
So then, how come he just?
Well, I was telling you, if he would have killed himself and left it at that,
then it would have been fine.
It would have been. He probably would have never gotten caught.
So what happened?
He came back. The guy was calling back saying, "It's me, so Looney or Laney, whatever the name is." And the football player said, "Man, don't play with me. Don't play with me. You're dead.
Oh.
You're supposed to be dead." She said, "I had to go away because I had to play like I was dead because I had to go away."
See,
for
he
these
should
years."
have
He should have left it at that.
Yeah, he should have died.
But he was emotionally tied to the football player. He was in love with the football player. So you're gonna find a way back. And he was pretty much saying, "Well, football players, like, if it's really you, I want you to text me a picture of yourself doing his little symbol that he does, holding a note saying something, gibberish, whatever." Well, the guy who catfished him, he still knew that girl. He said, "Hey, for my friend who's dying, can you do the picture of yourself doing this, holding that up?"
And that's what she did.
She don't know what she doing. She thinking she helping his friend.
Wow.
Isn't that something? So if he would have just left it alone, he would have probably gotten away. But the fact that the thing that got me with concerning both of them, because they both were spiritual people, grew up in a Christian home. I think the football player was Mormon. Is that Church of the Latter-day Saints? That was his denomination. And the other guy that catfished him was a Christian. Of course, all these things he's doing, he in the car giving speaking the documentary says, "I know what's done in the dark comes to light, and this is coming to light." Well, what happened, everybody was teasing the football player. You lying, made up some girlfriend.
Right.
Because you want to be you don't
With a
want to come out the closet
yeah.
saying that what your sexual preferences are. And it was none of that.
Yeah,
none
he took
of that.
a hit from all of that.
He took a big hit. In fact, his draft was messed up because he didn't get picked in the first draft because of all of that drama. He got picked in the second draft. I think the Baltimore Orioles or whoever, not Baltimore.
Right, I know he went on
Ravens
to
played him.
Okay.
Yeah, so but he went through a lot, and that was, I was telling my sister, it's unfortunate that, isn't that illegal? Couldn't that guy who
I'm thinking that's illegal.
catfished him could have
Because
arrested
you're taking
him?
on somebody's identity, so that's theft.
But the school wanted to keep it. Notre Dame wanted to keep it on the down low until they figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
They wanted to do their own investigation, not knowing that our favorite camera people, our favorite news media, when they get a hold of something, they'll put it out.
So this was on Netflix.
The news media put it out. That everything blew up after that.
So the question is, have you ever been catfished, or have you ever catfished someone?
That's a good question.
I've catfished someone.
You have?
Yeah, not to that extent though.
What did you do?
I don't know if you remember my friend. I'm not gonna say the name. A female. And I was pretending to be a guy. You don't remember?
Oh, I think so.
You remember that, Ma?
Was that to get information?
No, it was. She was. I think she had broken up with somebody. She was real sad or something. So I created this whole persona of a guy, pretending like he liked her, and I called her on the phone, and she didn't know it was me.
Why did you do that though? I couldn't.
I think I was number one. I felt like I was helping her out because I was like, she'll think somebody really like her.
Oh.
And then 2, I was bored. So that guy probably was bored that started it. And then 3, you do it because you want to see how good you are.
You catfish somebody.
Yeah, you want to see how.
Oh
so
my
I would call her. I
God.
called her a few times and talked to her on the phone.
You pretend to
And
be a boy?
Yeah, she kept saying, "Oh, I want to meet you" or whatever. And I was like,
You
I was like, nah. I said, yeah, I'll meet you or whatever. And then one time she kept saying, I think that might be you. I was there one day and she said, I think that's you. I said, no, what are you talking about? That's not me. So I called a guy, which is what this guy did. And I said, call her house and pretend like you that guy.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you got to get off the phone real quick. Stupid. We was young. So then I'm at her house. And the guy called, and then he said, hold on.
It took the thought off the.
He said, let me call you.
you.
He said, let me call you back real quick or something. And then she said, I think that was him. He kind of sounded different. I said, it was him. And how could that be me? And I'm right here, and he called.
Ooh.
See, that's how you get away with it.
Wow.
So then I think I called one more time, and her sisters, she had older sisters that was your age. They were saying, that's Kim on the phone. You don't remember that, Ma?
I don't remember.
And they came to the house.
Kim.
They came to the house while
You
I was
never
on.
told us this.
I didn't have to because you was there.
I don't
They
remember.
came to the house while I was on the phone talking to her. Because that was before cell phones
Oh
and
my
stuff.
God.
And they was like, we knew that was you. And I had to hang up the phone.
I don't remember that. Oh my God, I would remember that. You catfish something. So you know how that guy
So I know how
feels.
you feel. At first, it starts off innocent. Because at first, I was like, let me just make her think somebody like her. So that she won't feel, But then it starts to become like,
You were getting into the character.
you start acting like this person really don't think it's real.
Let me keep it going.
Yeah, like they don't really think it's me. Like you start sharpening your acting skills.
Wow.
So I think that's what happened with him. But he fell in love and all
No,
that. I didn't fall in
yours
love.
is different. He was
But-
falling in love with this guy.
And I didn't talk that long. It wasn't like we went
my
on for
goodness.
months and months. It
So
was like
you
a
know
week
the
or something.
feeling to catfish somebody. Oh my! How many times is this happening?
I catfished someone, and then I also
Pretended to be somebody else.
pretended to look different. This is before the when you would feel
profile
upset about
pictures.
being heavy or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would pretend that I wasn't heavy.
Oh.
And then when the person will think, ask you, well, what'd you look like? And then I just make up whatever.
I'm this.
Yeah, and then
size
when they
I'm
meet you, they be
16.
like, you are not
You're
going.
none like your photo. And that happens a lot.
No photo. This was before the days
Oh
of
my
photos.
God. Was this AOL when we would do the dial-up?
This was
and
before that. This is like before all
Internet?
this. Before the internet, before Facebook.
Oh my God!
Yeah, this was like when
'Cause
you can lie about stuff and nobody
remember
would.
when we first when the computers first came out,
Right.
And the AOL. It was
As soon as
was
all
the
that came
beginning
out,
of
that got
everything.
rid of that because people want to see a picture of you.
Yeah.
Then people start showing old pictures of themselves
Yes,
back in high school.
yes.
You don't even
And
look
they
nothing
totally
like that
look
anymore.
different. The
Right.
guy's hairline's back there.
Exactly.
He has an afro.
So I used to do that, and then that one I catfished that person.
Wow.
And then I used to lie about what I look like. Now, I mean, it's been 30
You old
years.
heathen.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did all
I don't
that.
care now. Look, I'm
But
happy.
that's something how you
But, yeah.
experienced that. So you really kind of know what this dude was dealing with.
Yep.
On the other end.
And then there's a
too.
part of it like this person likes me.
Yeah.
So if it shouldn't matter that if I'm heavy or whatever.
Oh no.
Because if you knew I was heavy, what would that make you
But
different?
remember-
You're still having the same conversation.
But not with the same sex.
No, oh, that's different. That's
Right.
yeah. I'm talking about as far as
If there was
looks.
a guy that was not catfishing you, but pretending
Pretending to look a
and he's
certain
really
way.
a guy, but he's not as cute as he say he is, or he's skinny, a fat, and a heavier, and not.
But
skinny.
I've never talked to
Oh.
somebody and was a whole nother person.
Wow.
Like I've never done that. Like showed them a picture and it's somebody else.
Yeah.
It's just I don't tell. You pretty much lying.
Yeah.
You don't tell what you really look like.
When you were pretending to be that guy, you never showed a photo.
No, this was 30
So you was
years
just saying
ago.
I'm a guy. Hey,
Over 30 years ago. Yeah, this was
What's
before.
up? What's up?
So this was cord phones when
Wow.
we was young.
Oh, so this is when no computer at all.
This was junior high school.
Oh, that's that long ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
Oh
was
my
long.
God.
40
Yeah,
years ago.
That's years ago.
Yeah, it was before.
Well, this is I think
pictures
2012, 20. It was around 2012,
Right.
2013 when this guy
So
was
I do
catfished.
understand why people
Wow,
catfish. It's
wow.
not right.
Yeah.
But I also blame people for for you to get catfished in this day and age.
That's what his dad was.
Back in the day is different, but now if
His
you
dad
get
was
catfished now, you
concerned.
stupid.
His dad was concerned, but I think what threw the guy off, I was trying to get an understanding of how he was fooled, but he said it was so real of the circle of friends and people that met her that's even his cousin.
Right.
So it's like if we go to our cousin and say, "Hey, do you know this guy named Jim Doe?"
And they say,
"Oh
yeah.
he's one of my Facebook friends. I've talked to him a few times. Well, does he seem okay? He seem okay. He's from such and such." And that's what he said. His cousin, and then his cousin
But
said he didn't
usually
look at it no more.
usually people who catfish are either overweight or ugly. Or like this guy, where he's a man pretending to be a woman, or a woman pretending to be a man or something.
Aww.
It's always something like that. It's something about themselves they want to hide
They're
because
hiding
they think
behind
if the
them.
other person knew the real them, that they wouldn't. And to be honest with you, you're not really being the real you. Because even when I go back and talk about, like, even in the early days when I talked to the guy and I never told him that I was heavy, even though you're talking to me and you like my personality, I'm still not being me.
You're not the authentic you.
Yeah, and it took me a long time to realize that, because I used to be like, if a person like you, they should like you, regardless
They
of what you
should,
look like and all that.
as you,
no,
as
it matters.
yourself.
It matters because I don't like heavy guys.
Well, that's why I like Love.
So I wouldn't want somebody to talk to me and tell me he got a six pack and all that,
Well,
and he,
like the
600
show,
pounds.
the reality show, Love is
Blind,
Blind.
which is not, because they asked them stuff. I told you on
They
that
give
show,
hints.
they asked them questions on that show that I can pretty much know what you look like.
You gather all the information. And
Yeah.
go, this dude
If
looks
I ask
chubby.
you, do you
Or
work
this
out
girl's
every
kinda
day?
heavy.
She works out every day, and I ask you, well, what kind of food do you eat? Are you on a good diet or all that? I pretty much don't have to ask you if you're heavy.
But then again,
the chances are you're not.
But then again, you can lie.
No, but on Love is Blind, they don't lie, do
No,
they?
Love is Blind.
They lie?
They
if somebody asks you a question, you can lie?
I guess because the cameras are on you.
Yeah, you can't lie.
Because they're not supposed to come out and say, "Are you heavy? Are you thick?"
That's
Are
what
you
I'm
fat?"
saying. They ask questions that make you say stuff that you know.
And they
like how
kinda
you,
put their-
I know what race you are by the questions that I ask. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
how'd you grow? Oh, okay. So did
Yeah,
you?
because the black girl knew the guy was white.
Right. I can ask. There's questions you can ask somebody to know what they are without
And that was
asking
her.
them what
And
they
again,
are.
that was the first season.
Yeah.
That was her first experience talking to a white guy and really liking him.
Right.
He's talked to black girls before.
Yeah.
So he was comfortable already. already.
So I don't know.
She came out of her shell, but this show wasn't about look.
But I think that's what
they asked the right questions.
I think that's what they was the premise of that show is kind of get back to stuff like that,
like
where people having
yeah.
conversations and they don't know what the person looks like or all that. It's just go based off of the conversation.
Wow.
But that's not real because I told you they never had nobody ugly and big and huge.
They don't last through the next phase of it to say I'm going to still talk with them.
Well, they don't even bring them on the show. So you already know.
They had some heavy girls on there.
No, big. I ain't talking about. I'm not talking about. I don't
know if there's a size cutoff.
They ain't had no 600-pound man on there talking.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they figured the average person would not be comfortable with somebody.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have, and nobody's been on there that's been, in my opinion, ugly. Like ugly. Like you go, ooh, no.
Yeah, because they're average looking. Some of them are a little bit above average.
Thank you.
But still, they.
So you going on the show, you already know those two things. You ain't got to worry about the wall coming down and you going, oh Lord Jesus. So that's what I'm saying.
But I learned something from my sister. She said I would know this, but I don't remember that you actually catfished somebody.
I don't know why Mama don't remember.
Mom,
because they came over to the house when I was on the phone.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Why is it I forgot?
You don't remember because I was young and it was stupid, and you probably thought it was some kid game.
But I really felt bad when I saw the documentary for this football player, and I felt like, for me personally, when the person that catfished him went to the fact that they died. That to me is
that's what I'm saying.
His grandmother just died,
but you don't know how to. You try to figure out how to get out of it because with this guy I was trying to
die
out.
I
didn't want to die, but I was like, how can I get out of this? I think I was moving or something. Like I don't want to be at me, so I gotta move away or something.
Go out of the country.
Yeah,
move somewhere far away.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to leave the country. I'm just ready to leave the country.
Where you going? I'm gonna be in some other country. I don't know right now.
That was
that was good.
And I think that's when they caught me because that was like gonna be my last Frontier phone call. Yeah, and then they gonna catch me right at the end. That means God. It was God to catch me because if I wouldn't have got caught, I probably would have kept doing it to people because I would have got away with it, and then I would have been like, "Oh, I'm a good actress. Let me see if I could get somebody else." I probably would have did it again. So God, He nipped that in the bud when I was young.
Wow.
And embarrassed me on the phone. They showed up at the house, and I was on the phone when they came.
Holding it up like this.
I was on the phone. They knocked on the door.
Well, the guy, the catfish Manti, he met him as a cousin to that girl and her sibling, and so he felt like, oh, I'm hugging him, and he don't even know I'm the one he's been talking to. He really felt special just holding him, but he was meeting him as a cousin to the girl.
So he actually met him.
Yeah, he met him because he brought the sister, one of the siblings of the girl. So it was.
That's a good documentary. Okay.
If you have a chance to watch it, I think it's Manti Te'o.
Yeah, that's his
the
name.
girlfriend that didn't exist.
Wow.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that was it. That was basically there was no breakfast report. That was from something from the past that they talked about.
But
and then you saw that.
I wanted to see it.
And I wanted to talk about catfishing a little bit. So that's why
and then sharing what she did years ago.
Yeah.
But when Manti was saying catfishing, would that have mattered if he knew what catfishing was? Would he have still looked into, is this person real?
Now
that's another thing that people were asking. You still wouldn't have done anything.
The bottom line is now, if you get catfished, you stupid.
Yeah.
There's too many ways.
Do your homework. You
can watch somebody even now, like here on Facebook.
He wasn't even researching.
YouTube.
Here's another thing that happened with the documentary. Even back then, not knowing what catfishing was, some of the reporters know how to get their information. There was some show that either a newspaper or something, they were doing the investigating aside from the school, because the school was supposed to look and see, Manti, hold on, don't say nothing.
Right.
We're going to look into what's going on because you're saying she's dead and now she's alive. Right. We're going to find out. Well, the news people, they found out that her death was when she had a car accident and was in the ICU. They said there was no car accident. They didn't find anything. So they were able to do investigation better than the school.
So that's good.
So it came out. But he's a nice looking guy. I pray that he's found real love.
Real person.
In fact, I thought about it. What if he really meets that girl?
I don't know.
Because I can't remember her name. Who didn't know she was being used.
But that personality's not the one he fell in love with.
Yeah.
So he got to deal with the fact that he fell in love with, he would
fell
say,
in
a
love
man.
with that person.
And that's a man.
Yeah.
And that's why he got a lot of flack from that, from the teammates and all of that.
That's
so
true. Okay.
All right. So you good?
Yeah. That's
all
a
right.
good
So
show.
don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and believe.
Always believe.
All right. And that was another Woods Report. See you later.